Hello, thank you for joining us. We are joining you from Arch Disability Law Center's office in Toronto, Canada, and we acknowledge that we are located on traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and that this land is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. My name is Gabriel Resnick, and I am a staff lawyer at Arch Disability Law Center. And I am joined by Rosie Giannoni, a law student completing a placement at Arch. Arch is a specialty legal clinic that practices exclusively in disability rights law. Arch is dedicated to defending and advancing the equality rights, fundamental freedoms, and inclusion of persons with disabilities in Ontario. Arch is primarily funded by Legal Aid Ontario. This is the last video in a series of 4 videos about reassessments for eligibility for Wheel-Trans services. In this video, we will explain how to appeal your Wheel-Trans eligibility decision. The TTC has an internal appeal process which allows you to appeal your eligibility decision. You have to submit your appeal within 90 days of receiving your Wheel-Trans eligibility letter. There are a number of steps in the appeal process. The first step is to fill out the appeal form. You can access the form online or by calling 416-393-4111 or by emailing wteligibility@ttc.ca. The appeal form will ask you what eligibility category you are appealing and why you disagree with the decision. In the appeal form, you should explain in detail what your disabilities are and how they prevent you from riding conventional transportation. If you want to include more information than you can fit in the appeal form, you can attach a separate document to the appeal form. In addition to filing out your appeal form, Arch recommends getting a letter from your healthcare practitioner to attach to your appeal application. You should ask your doctor to include information not just about your disability, but about how your disability affects your ability to get around and why it is unsafe for you to take conventional transit. In addition, your doctor should outline whether or not they agree with the eligibility decision and why.
Second, if you have not already had a functional assessment test, you will be required to attend one as part of the appeal process. This assessment will likely be done in a hospital room and will be performed by an occupational therapist. The occupational therapist will ask you questions and may ask you to do physical tests. For example, walking across a room to assess if you can use conventional transit. Make sure to print your documents beforehand and bring them to the in-person assessment. You can bring one support person to the functional assessment with you. After the assessment, you will get a letter from the TTC, which will either confirm your status or change the initial decision. If you do not agree with the decision following the functional assessment test, you then have to fill out an additional appeal form. This form is the same as the initial appeal form. When filling out this appeal form, we recommend that you include what happened at the functional assessment and share your opinion of whether the functional assessment properly assessed your disabilities and your ability to use conventional transportation. After you send the second appeal form to the TTC, you will receive a call from the TTC to schedule an appeal hearing. The appeal hearing is in front of a panel of 3 members: a member of the Advisory Committee on Accessible Transit, a TTC employee, and a licensed occupational therapist that did not conduct your functional assessment. The panel will hear from the rider about their disabilities and why they cannot ride conventional transportation. The appeal panel may ask you whether you have done the TTC's travel training program, whether you've attempted to use conventional transit, how long you have been on Wheel-Trans if you have used it before, and if you have a mobility device, how you use it. The appeal lasts 30 minutes. A decision will be provided in writing by the TTC within 2 weeks of the appeal. Once you appeal within the TTC's internal process, you cannot reappeal until the next calendar year. If you feel as though your situation has changed, for example, your disabilities have become more severe, you should contact the TTC to request another appeal or reassessment. You do, however, have the right to file for judicial review of the decision at the divisional court or file a human rights complaint for discrimination. You can contact Arch Disability Law Center to inquire further. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, please contact our office at 416-482-8255 or by email to general@arch.clcj.ca or by visiting our website at archdisabilitylaw.ca.